fail, guys. Without fail. Every single fucking time. It's quiet in the house. All the animals have settled down. I'm sitting at my desk and I'm like, okay. Everything's gone quiet. There's a log on the fire. I have my coffee. I am not hungry. Let's fully dedicate ourselves to this work, or let's go live while everything's quiet. The fucking millisecond I go live, this motherfucker or any of the other animals decide that they either need to tear ass around the house, which is fine, or that they need to go potty and won't go out the door when I open it, and it's just... Is this what it's like to be a parent? You're like, okay, the kids have settled down. They're outside, or they're taking a nap, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna sit down, and I'm gonna have a coffee, and we're gonna enjoy 5 minutes of quiet, and then suddenly, Mom! Or, wah, woke up, and she's, oh, fuck! It's like that with pets. It's like that with kids. I know, if I dare say having pets is just like having kids, if I dare say that, I know every parent within 1,000-mile radius will come crashing through my door and say, "You have no idea what it's like to be a parent, because it's nothing like with animals, because animals you can just put in a cage." It's like, no, you can't just put an animal in a cage. That's abuse. I mean, come on. Anyone who says that is like, that's abuse, and you shouldn't do that to your animals. But then anytime I talk about my problems with Elias or with any of my other pets, because I've had a few over the years, my mom will just look at me with her coffee and go, "Welcome to motherhood." She'll literally say that. She'll literally say that. My mom's a mother of 4. So I have it on good authority that if you can handle a house full of animals, you can probably handle a kid in the house. Probably. I don't know. The only experience with children I actually have are either A, other children, or B, foster kids, which are a completely different breed. Anyway, let's get into the topic at hand. I forgot to bring up the music. I apologize. Last time it was like really super fucking quiet, and I do apologize for that. I'm still trying to figure out the noise levels of what to have the music at. And I think that's okay. If it gets too loud, just yell, and we'll figure it out. But in the meantime, my butterflies, my broskies, I actually have no idea what to call you guys. We're gonna get into this comic dealio shite. It's fun. I am enjoying myself. I love telling stories. I just don't like how long they fucking take. It would probably help if I plugged in headphones. Headphones are for nerds. Especially when I'm constantly worried about someone... I'm not really breaking in, but like if someone knocks at the door and I have headphones on, or if something terrible happens, like if cats get into something and they crash, I'm probably not gonna hear them with my headphones on. Especially when I'm already stuffy. How are y'all doing? I have started a little something. I don't want to say what it is, mostly because it's probably going to take me 5 million years to get it done. But I do want it to be done. I just, again, the whole reason why I haven't started most of my projects is because I'm not exactly sure how I want it done. But if I at least get this fundamental bit done, everything else will hopefully fall into place. And that's all I'll say on that for now. Also, I have had all of the old hyperfixations resurface at the absolutely worst time. I remembered Voltron's a thing. You know, Voltron Legendary Defender? I remembered that was a thing. And now I'm sitting here like, damn. Do I want to get back into that? But also I'm in the middle of rewatching Beast Wars. I'm in the middle of season 2. I think it's season 2. I'll admit, I completely forgot most of season 2 for Beast Wars. I remember season 1, but now with my rewatch, I'm sitting here like, man, what happened? Ah! Ah, hold on, guys. Whoa! Oh, my ears! My ears! Okay. One of them just went really quiet and then started ringing, and okay, I still have hearing, but oh my god. Ah! I hate being stuffy. I hate congestion. Oh shit, I forgot. I'll deal with that after the colors. Yeah, after the colors. Anyway, I love that show so much. It's... I wouldn't say it's my favorite Transformers show, because I think animated takes the cake on that one. With Cyberverse being a very close third. Yeah, I think for me it goes animated, Beast Wars, Cyberverse, Armada. Thinking. That's at least the top 4. I haven't even... I've only watched the first 3 episodes of Bots, and I'm already in love with these guys. They're adorable. They're absolutely adorable. It's like, aw, damn. Give me a cute animation style with nice crunchy sound design, and I'm hooked. Which is probably the one thing that keeps animated so high on my list. Like, I love Beast Wars. Like, I love it to death. it's very nostalgic for me, and I just love the story. I love the characters. I love the relationship between Optimus Primal and Cheetor. I think it's the most wholesome and adorable thing ever. I don't want to spoil anything, but I did just rewatch a few episodes where some beloved characters die, and that was really rough, man. That was rough. Oh, she's just playing. Okay. Sorry, my cat's outside, and the snow has gotten not ridiculously high, but it's like sitting on top of. I have this bush outside my window, and the snow's just sitting on top of it, so she's just walking around. And usually when she wants in, she'll jump out my window and pull the screen out, which I have no idea where the screen has gone now because she yanked it out. So it looks like she's just playing around. Okay. Anyway. And I mean, I love all that about Beast Wars. One thing I don't like about Beast Wars, the style changes, and it's not just it's like the animation style stays the same. The character designs change, and not for the better. Guys, the character designs changed at the beginning of season 2 for a lot of the main characters, and it's okay. The Transmetal robot modes aren't terrible, except for Optimus Primal. Oh my god, that his first Transmetal form. Megatron stays the. He changes into his Transmetal form, and oh, he looks so good. Every time Megatron changes a form, he still looks good. The designers didn't dare change his face. He still looks good. But for like okay, Cheetor's first Transmetal form, his robot mode isn't terrible. Same with his his robot mode isn't terrible. Same with his beast form. They're not terrible. Just Optimus Primal's is really disgusting. It's just, oh no, his robot mode is so bad. Same with his beast mode, it's so bad. Rat Trap's change isn't terrible either. He looks mostly the same. Like, the positioning of the animal faces change. I don't like how Cheetor's first Transmetal form, like, okay, because when they transform, I don't have, like, a blanks. You know what I need to do? I just need to have a secondary canvas to draw on for every stream. Okay, so, usually, since they're, I don't know what to draw here. They turn into animals. So, of course, when they transform, like in season 1, Rat Trap's rat face was on his chest, and you could see, like, the little eyes glowing. And I think it was the same with Dinobot and Cheetor. When they transformed, their beast modes were on their beast form faces were on their chests. For Transmetal, Rat Traps, the rat face would split, and it was, like, on his shoulders. And this is a terrible rendition. But for Cheetor, instead of having hands, which he still does have hands underneath, for his Transmetal form, Transmetal 1, he still had hands on the inside, but, like, the back of his hands, it was that's a terrible cheetah. Okay, bear with me. He had the cat mouths. He had his cat head for hands. I mean, he could still use his fingers underneath, but it was like covering, so that means when he transformed, his hand, he was like doing prey hands. And it's just I didn't like it. Especially since his season 1 design is so cute. I mean, it's kind of canon in, Beast Wars. Cheetor is a teenager. Or at the very least, he's very, very young. Oh, it's awful, but we're just going to ignore it. Or I can... Rattrap basically looks the same, so there's nothing really to say about that. I do like how their transmetal forms look more robotic and less animalistic. And they're like, oh wow, I look really good. That's because they're from Cybertron. They're not used to having animalistic forms. So when they turn more metal, they're like, wow, we look good, even though the whole time I'm throwing up. Especially with Optimus. Megatron, on the other hand, whew, impossible to make him look bad. He looks good in every angle, every lighting. Not me being a simp. I'm gonna put the shadow on this side. But then... And then we have like a few episodes. I don't know if it's half of season 1. I actually don't know if I'm in season 3. The website I'm watching Beast Wars at just has the episode number, not their season. So I actually have no idea if I'm already in season 3 or whatnot. But then Optimus Primal gets another upgrade because of shenanigans. And it looks good again. I think it looks amazing, personally. His face returns to a more familiar, like, his new face represents closer to his season 1 form, which I liked his season 1 face. I think it was very, very aesthetically pleasing, and he was actually genuinely handsome. No simping here. And, but then, and he transforms into a jet, and it's awesome. But then, he's got this thing where he's got, like, 3 modes. Because he's got his robot mode, which has, like, that season 1 face. And then he's got this jet mode. But then he's also got this slightly smaller return to monk ape form. And his face is just solid blue. And it's so... it's bad. I don't like it. And he's only... I'm at a point in the series where he's only used that form, like, twice, and each time I threw up. I was like, oh god, this looks so bad. Thank god it was only on screen for, like, a few minutes. But then... I just watched... I think that was the last episode I watched. Yeah, I just watched the episode where Cheetor gets another upgrade. I think they just call it the Transmetal 2. I can't remember what they called that form. Because that had something to do with the alien technology. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, I think we just called it Transmetal 2. And his beast mode looks really good. It's like he's like got more fur again. He looks more like a saber-toothed cheetah, but with some mechanical parts peeking through, and it looks really good. It looks really good. But his robot mode just looks... I don't know, man. I just don't like it. Maybe it's because he's got the... I don't know what it is about that particular form or mode, but I can't look at it for very long. I can't look at it for very long. It just does not look that great. It's not that great, guys. And I know why they kept changing their forms. You know, it's because Hasbro and they got to sell more toys. And Cheetor and Optimus were probably the most famous. Cheetor, Optimus, and Megatron were probably the most famous characters, obviously. So they would, of course, get the most toys. Poor Rhinox. He has not once changed forms throughout this entire series. And I'm like, oh, poor Rhinox. That means his toy demands were very, very low. And I wonder if that's why they killed off those other two characters, because of toys. You know what? Honestly, I want to look and see if the reasoning why they killed certain characters is because of toy sales. Now, I know they killed this other character, and I'm being purposely vague. I know the show's been out since the 90s, but I genuinely want people to go watch that show. It's a good show. I wonder if they killed him off because of toy sales. I mean, he's a very popular character, and everyone loved him, and it was a heroic death. And it's not like the voice actor had to leave, because this particular voice actor also voiced like 3 other characters that were main characters. So I know it wasn't that. I'm just wondering why companies kill off certain characters. And if it's Hasbro, it's probably mostly due to toy sales. But for other companies that aren't Hasbro, I wonder if it's the same. Like, do they zomp certain characters solely because of toy sales or ratings? Because if so, that's just bad writing. But, you know, you're a company, you gotta make money. But at the same time, you're gonna lose money if you kill off a character people like. Oh my god, if I was a kid watching this show and suddenly, you know, like on the air, and my favorite character just died like that, just gone, no fanfare, I think I'd riot. I'd be inconsolable. And then my parents would just say, well, if it's gonna make you so upset, then let's just not watch it anymore. And guess what, Hasbro? You just lost a paying customer. Because you're like, we don't care. Toy sales. Just, guess what? You just broke a kid's heart. So if you're gonna kill off a character, Hasbro, make it mean something. Don't just kill off a character and say, well, that's whatever because of toy sales. Nah. You want to make it meaningful and make it hurt. Because those 2 character deaths from the good guy's side, their deaths didn't hurt. It just came out of nowhere. Same with their romance. Their romance also came out of nowhere. Just canon, I guess, out of nowhere. And then they suddenly die. What? Excuse me? Oompst? Ah! That doesn't make any sense. And then you kill them instantly, and then roll credits? It's like, wait, what? Give me a second. Let me process this. You killed 2 of my favorite characters. I mean, sure, they weren't my number 1 favorite characters. I mean, that's Megatron and also really like, yeah, I guess that's Megatron and Dinobot and Silverbolt. They're really my favorites. I had to really focus for that bit. Now, for a certain character's death that I won't say, because go watch the damn show, that death hurt, but in a good way. Like, he got a proper send-off. They saluted his death and had a whole funeral pyre for him. And his death actually meant something because it was a heroic death. It was kind of a redemption death, which annoyed me a little bit, but it was him being who he was always meant to be, which is a warrior. And salute our fallen brethren. It's one of the most famous deaths in the series, so if you just look up Beast Wars character deaths, it's probably gonna be the first one that people talk about. So I'm not really saving anyone by not talking about it via spoilers. But I really want people to go watch the show! Is that really loud, or is it just quiet? No, it's Tchaikovsky, okay. Oh, anyway, Hasbro, please, for the sake of toy sales, don't just kill off a character because they've got bad ratings and whatnot. That's just bad PR. What you gotta do is you gotta make their death either meaningful. You gotta make it meaningful, and then by making it meaningful, you have to either make it satisfying that that character is dead, or you make it hurt. Like, some of the Terratrons? Wow. Some of the Predacons die. Like, pew, dead. And then we barely talk about them ever again. It's like, aw, come on, I kind of liked those guys. They were funny. Just gone. No fanfare. Like, one throwaway line of dialogue after. And then just business as usual. Because then we immediately get 2 new characters. And it's like, I mean, I like these 2 new characters, but at the same time, those other 2 were amazing. But yeah, companies, please. Make it satisfying or make it hurt. Make me cry. Or make me cheer. Cry or cheer. Or both. Because, like, I mean, I could spoil that show. But even though that show came out way later, I completely forgot Armada came out way after Beast Wars. Beast Wars came out before the Unicron trilogy. It's like, wait, really? I thought it was the other way around! It wasn't! It's because of Beast Wars' popularity that they brought back David Kane and Gary Chalk to voice Megatron and Optimus for the English dub of the Unicron trilogy. Oh, that's why they did that. Oh, I thought it was the other way around. But then I actually watched each show respectively and was like, no, it was the other way around. It was Beast Wars was so popular that they had to save Armada somehow. What's kind of funny is Beast Wars, this... I mean, it's kind of a spoiler, but at the same time, it really isn't. Beast Wars takes place in this exact same universe, not implied. It is the exact same universe and continuity as G1. So that means all of G1 is canon to Beast Wars. However, Armada is its own show. Completely own continuity, its own canon, its own backstory. All of it is its own thing. I love. Yet, Dinobot and Starscream from, like, Dinobot from Beast Wars and Starscream from Armada basically, not exactly, Because I think Dinobots was handled just a little bit better. If Starscream's character arc of, like, momentarily joining the Autobots, spoilers, was just given more time, more than just 2 episodes, I think it would have been a lot better. Like with Dinobot, who joined the Maximals and spent the entirety of the series trying to be a better person and catching shit for it. But they have the exact same character arc, basically. They have very similar personalities, you know, honor and fighting for our cause. He didn't have the same, Dinobot didn't have the same we must unite thing that Starscream did in Armada. Again, I'm fucking spoiling everything. But their characters are very similar. Speaking of, that was my phone. Actually, with the noise, I got a new noise gate filter. And by got a new noise gate filter, I mean I just looked through the pre-installed filters and just clicked on because I didn't know that was a thing. Because I'm stupid. There it is. I don't know if you can hear a lot of... last stream I also had noise suppression on, which I've turned off for this stream because I didn't like the way it was making my voice sound. Probably didn't just hear my phone go off. Which my notification sound effect is the G1 transforming sound effect, which I absolutely love. Chew death. That is the best sound in the world. There's only like 2 sounds that are better than the Transformers sound. The sound of Sebulba's Pod Racer engine, which is also in TFA, Starscream's engine. It's amazing. Or the Jango Fett's seismic charge. Or seismocharge. Whatever it's called. That's a pretty damn good sound effect. Best sound effects in the world are either Transformers or Star Wars. They have the best sound effects in everything. They have the best sound effects, except Transformers Prime. Okay, terrible sound design in that show. I fucking hate it. I could rant for years about how bad and annoying and grating and damn near almost ruined the show for me Transformers Prime sound design is. However, I won't do that. I will make a joke saying that it's funny that the best sound effects in the world are Transformers and Star Wars, and Transformers often uses Star Wars' sound effects. Like, if you look at in the credits of the new Transformers movie, Transformers 1, they used Skywalker Sounds, which is the George Lucas company, for those sound effects. TFA, the reason why I love that show so much is because of its sound design. What sound effects do they use? Skywalker Sounds. So I guess, in saying that, Star Wars is the best. Star Wars and Transformers have the best sound effects because Transformers uses Star Wars sound effects. Now, the only one that they don't use is the transformation. And that's the best sound in the universe. Anyway, I think that's absolutely hilarious. And hello, Waffles. I need to finish my tirade before I said hi. Oh, fucking guys, I need coffee. Let's fucking go! Into hell we dive. Democracy arrives. Do whatever freedom requires. Say farewell and cry. Super Earth will never die. We are the Hell Divers. Oh yeah! Fucking love that song and that game. I'm sad that my computer, my poor PC, can't handle the computing power of Helldivers, or Marvel Rivals, or Horizon Zero Dawn for that matter. My poor PC. Post them on a computer page for criticism, so if you're curious, you can see them. On your community page. Okay. Yeah, I'll check that out. Okay, if her arm's there, that means the light comes up here. Boom. And in the tail region, that's here. Ugh. Something I've noticed about my my vocal cords since I've had my perpetual cough for the last 3 weeks. Last month, actually. Around the house, I have trouble singing. But in the car, no problems. So maybe it's a volume thing. Where, like, I can only sing if I belt it out a bit more. Well, actually, no, in the car I was struggling because Bonnie Tyler's got range, got pipes that I can't hope to touch. But I do love the song. I've said this on stream before, and I'll say it again. If you recommend a show to me, and I don't care, I honestly do not care how good the arcs are, how good the animation style is, how good the story is, if I can't stand the sound design, I'm not gonna really enjoy myself. I mean, I barely stomached Transformers Prime. But now, because of the sound effects, I can't go back to it. Like, I watched it because it was literally it was the newest and hottest show, and I was like, I remember enjoying it while I was watching it, but retrospectively, looking back at it, I'm like, God, this show sucked. I don't care what anybody says. I don't like it that much anymore. The more I learn about Transformers Prime, the more I'm just like, alright. I'll be nice to the Prime babies. I hope Phoenix didn't hear me say that. Suddenly my DMs explode. He's like, excuse me! It's like, I'm sorry! I'm trying to think of a show that I genuinely liked, but the sound design drove me crazy. And I can't think of one. It's, except Prime, but the one thing that would always ruin an episode for me is anytime some sound effects would happen, I was just, okay, fine. It would immediately take me out of the episode. How are you? I'm fine. I'm tired. I'm caffeinated. I'm still coughing. I hate it. I'm doing great, actually. I did a bunch of research for my writing and for a different project recently, so that's like all I'm thinking about is the research I did. Then I'm binging Beast Wars, so I'm just got beastie brain rot. It's a good show, everyone should watch it. I do not take requests, I'm young, I am working on my own comic. However, if you would like to see what I've drawn Firepaw in the past. I do have a DeviantArt with a fan art folder that you could check out if you wish. But I apologize, I do not take requests. Super Earth will never die. Well, yesterday I was singing Seven Nation Army and I wasn't coughing, so... Well, no, that wasn't... That's not the issue. I think it has to do with volume. Like, if I try to be quiet about singing... Like, there are 2 times where I be quiet when I'm singing. Because I'm just mumbling because I'm got the song stuck in my head. Or it's, I don't remember the lyrics, so I don't want to be loud if I don't remember the lyrics. That's annoying. Or there are other people in the house. But then again, that hasn't stopped me in the past, because when I'm in the shower, whoo boy, full volume. My family can attest to that. Freedom, red wires. I'm young. I told you I do not take requests. I understand what the request is, but I'm not going to do it. So, no, I will not do that. You bring it up again, you will be put in timeout. Your first and final warning. Okay, she's done, so I can merge these layers. Moving on to the brindle, because, oh my god, it's been so long since I've had to draw a brindle first, so she's gonna kill me. Alright. Lock it in, boys. Nose all the way back. Just point it in the other direction. Damn! Okay. Everybody chill. There. Here. I think my cat wants in. Hang on. Wait, you want in, Hawk? Come here. Alright. I'm gonna go get that. I will be right back. Ow! drivers! Oh yeah! Fuck me, I love that song. And, I want you. There we go. I do not have any moderators. Boom. Ice cream in winter. It is the best. And I am so glad we live in an area that doesn't have door-to-door salesmen. Because, oh boy, if we did, they would have gotten a shotgun to the face. Or a dog in the ass. Well, not in the ass, but you know what I mean. I think we used to have, you know, salesmen used to come by every once in a while, but then we had a huge, well, he wasn't huge, but we had this border collie named Jake. He was a good boy. And he'd come running over because, you know, he's a dog, and then they would all scream and piss themselves because big dog. Hello, phone. So we don't get much, we don't get very much. I can't fucking talk. Don't get much salesmen anymore. Even though beloved Jake has passed away since, shh, don't tell them. Say farewell and cry. Die. Alright. And she's got... I gotta add more of the pen texture to her markings. Because I'm a masochist, apparently. I'm so glad we don't live in an era that gets a lot of, did you know Jesus died for you? It's like, yes. Apparently, according to your religion, my people killed him. Of course I know he's dead. Oh god, I hate that fucking... The Jews killed Jesus! Now we didn't. But that's a whole other conversation. But I'm so glad I don't have to have on a daily. Bless all the people who do have to deal with that. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure I've had, because I've had a lot of Christian teachers, and that was hell enough. And I'm pretty sure a lot of them thought that it was the Jews' fault. The Jews rejected Jesus and other bullshit. But they never said it to my face. Thank God. Because I honestly, when I was a kid, had a lot of trouble responding to authority. I probably would have just said, oh, sorry. Even though, fuck, we did. But now that I have that response, I honestly kind of hope one day someone goes, "Did you know Jesus died for you?" And I'm just, "Yeah, according to your religion, my people killed him." Slam! Just have them sit there and think about it for a second. It's like, wait, what? Like, yeah! Oh, Brindlefer, my beloved, I am so sorry that I have not drawn you in a long time. I haven't drawn any of them in a long time, so it's. But Brindlefer, baby girl, sweet baby girl, you're the one that always gives me the most trouble. Which is gonna be hell for me because she's got a very important role to play in these next I want to say chapters. I don't actually have it in chapters. I should, let's say arc. This next arc, she plays a very big role. Just gonna have to get used to that. Pray for me. Shoopy doo, shoopy doo. Music, what happened? Oh, it's just a really quiet one. Okay. What happened? Oh, shut up. Another problem with Brindlefer's design is that her base color, her base coat is so damn dark. So I'm just like, where's the line art? There it is. So I hope with this new style of coloring the line art not preemptively, but in addition, coloring the line art, if it'll help her design read a little more, a little clearer. I hope that is what happens. Because if not, I will just cry. Because I'm a sensitive individual. Birds will never die. Part of the reason why I added the orange under her eyes was to help her eyes pop. Her, her luscious lashes need to stand out against her coat. So I added the purple. What the fuck? I added the orange. I need a drink. We don't get a lot of salesmen out here, but we sure do get a lot of semis. Mm. I see what you're saying, Waffles. Okay, it's somewhere between medieval and 2000s tech. So that's like steampunk on crack. But it's not steampunk. Okay, of the punk genres, what would you it's not because it's not cyberpunk and it's not steampunk. But like what kind of punk would you say this world is? Because it's specifically the 2000s. So that means we got the 2000s. That means we got Backstreet Boys, which were technically the 90s, but it bled in. Uh Flip phones were actually a little bit later you would need a BlackBerry phone for the 2000s. Flip phones were just a little bit later. And then you'd need, that's CD players, boom boxes, which had gotten smaller since the 80s. And you know, when someone says the early 2000s, I think of like Backstreet Boys, the Cheetah Girls, Miley Cyrus, you know, Y2K, you know, that type of that era of fashion. But to like mix it with medieval agriculture, culture, and clothes, but have 2000s gadgets. So it's like the Flintstones, where they're cavemen, in air quotes, in cavemen times, but they have phones and cars and whatnot. So what you would have to do to make it make sense is you would have to design the tech through the medieval lens. Like with the Flintstones, they have cars, but they gotta like pick it up and get it started with their feet, and it's made out of stone, it's got wheels. Their buses start that way, their pole bells, or it's actually a monkey with a hammer. Their phones are like little shells. So you could go that route. Like 2000s tech, but with a medieval lens. Because that would be actually kind of funny. I don't know how you would pull it off, but that would be really funny. I'm just trying to imagine Miley Cyrus as as a medieval icon, and I can't. I literally can't. So you've got your work cut out for you, man, because I can't help you. Mostly because medieval era is not my special interest, and I'm trying to forget the 2000s even happened. So yeah, what you could go the Flintstones route, which does work, and show, like, have 2000s tech, but with a medieval lens, or you could go, like, it's medieval-esque with a 2000s energy. Like, that doesn't make it. Because, like, with cyberpunk, it's futuristic. It's got all this wacky tech, cybernetics and whatnot, but it still has a futuristic, it has a modernistic lens, because people are still living in cities, they're still driving cars. Sure, the cars have a futuristic spin on them, but it's still basically the modern setting. But the thing that makes cyberpunk is the dystopian corporate control aspect of the story. So if you're going medieval with 2000s tech, you gotta figure out what kind of story you're telling. Like, are you telling a medieval story with a 2000s lens? Or are you telling a 2000s story with a medieval spin? If that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, let me know, because I think I can try to explain it a little better. Brindle Fur Baby, I love you, but I thank God you're covered by this text bubble. Ears and nose. Because there's this one story that I read a long time ago, and the movie was kind of good. It was more steampunk, but they did have technology, because this world was like an offshoot of the modern world. And that was, the book was called His Dark Materials, but the movie was called The Golden Compass. for whatever fucking reason. And the story kind of felt medieval mythical, even though the setting looked slightly more Victorian, because they had blimps, they had ships, they had what were blimps called prior to blimp? You know, they had the sky ships and like the float, like the helium and whatnot. But they also, and you know, the alethiometer, which, because it wasn't a compass. Sorry, movie, it's not a compass, it's an alethiometer. It doesn't point to any one direction. Yeah! It points! It would point a direction in the future. And the main character could read it. Anyway, that's immediately what came to mind, because I'm trying to think of, like, another story that I could point you in the direction. Hawk, get down! You just came inside. Your litter box is clean. I'm sorry I don't have food out for you. It's said in all of the studies that if you just leave food out all the time for cats, it takes away their instinct to hunt. And it makes them fat. So you are just gonna have to wait until I'm ready to give you food. Which currently, I am busy. Alright. I'm sorry, what was that? It makes sense if you're gonna go for a more medieval spin, since I love the idea of a modern tech being surrounded by the interior home, but just scared me, like the timeless feel. Or the characters would look weird. Yeah, I get that. Because there was, like, a long time ago, there was this movie that was supposed to be a retelling of Romeo and Juliet, and they were speaking the entire time. They were speaking in the original Shakespearean tongue, but it was in a modern setting. I think it had Leonardo DiCaprio in it, and everyone said it was the weirdest thing ever, because they were like, forsooth and verily, and reading off soliloquies. But then they were, like, texting each other on their flip phones. It's like, can you imagine? Oh my god. Can you imagine using a 2000 style flip phone texting a soliloquy to someone? Because you have to hit each button, like, 3 times in order to select the letter and then move on to the next letter. Oh god. The reason why we have text lingo is because of the 2000s, because we didn't have keyboards on our phone. We had 9 numbers and a 0, pound signs, which is now we call a hashtag, and it was a pain in the ass if you wanted to text anybody. So that's why our language just got when it came to texting. Bit of a historical language etymology. I don't think that's the right word, but whatever. I think the best thing for you to do, Waffles, is to research a little more about what was available tech-wise in the medieval era. Like, what was actually there, not just what Tumblr or Pinterest says, but actually do some, watch a few documentaries on the era. There's a lot of people, because people have gotten so much wrong about the medieval era, it's not even funny how wrong they got it all. So if you look into that, and then you can more easily figure out, okay, if I'm gonna make this, like, techie and slightly 2000s and whatnot, where can I start, at least? But you gotta know your fundamentals before you decide to merge something. I know it sounds a little bit nerdy. But I think it would help satiate a lot of anxiety you would have towards the story and the characters looking weird. Just do a little bit more research, and then maybe after you've done research, you find out, oh, maybe it's not the medieval era I'm talking about. Maybe I'm actually looking for a different era. Or maybe it's not the 2000s that would work, and maybe it should more closely go for the 80s or the 60s or something like that. Oh my god, can you imagine? Medieval 80s would go so hard. Bunch of knights clacking down the alley while snapping their fingers. But it sounds like shit because they're all wearing gauntlets, so it's just clunk, clunk. Even though this finger snapping thing wasn't really the 80s, it was more closer to the 60s, but it depends on who you ask. God, that would be so funny. And now I'm thinking about it. Damn it, now you got me thinking about it and I'm laughing too much. Have you heard the bardcore songs? Where they, like, take... Like, my favorite one is bardcore Pumped Up Kicks. Because then they take the song, Pumped Up Kicks, but then they make it sound medieval, and they're, "Ah, you bully rooks with your buckskin boots, best ye go, outrun my bow. Ah, you bully rooks with your buckskin boots, best ye go, faster than mine arrow." And it's just, what the fuck? It's Pumped Up Kicks, but with a medieval spin on it, and it is so funny. I love that one. Especially also, they did a cover of Somebody That I Used to Know with a bardcore spin on it, and oh, it was so good. Okay, I'm gonna add the star layer on top. I'm trying to think of a fantasy story that I've engaged with that was medieval, but also had the closest thing I can think of to like a medieval story having futuristic tech, but not quite being solar punk, is like Dungeons and Dragons. You know? And it depends on what kind of campaign you're running, because some hella homebrews get, really into the steampunk aesthetic. But, like, thinking about, let's think of Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Really good movie. Everyone should go watch it. They didn't really have 2000s tech, so that's not really what we're talking about here. But with the world of D&D, they could have something that's more futuristic because of the existence of artificers, which I'm kind of sad their campaign didn't have an artificer, but it was supposed to be like the basic typical D&D group where it was, the bard, the barbarian, the rogue, the wizard, the druid, the paladin NPC side character that joined them for a mission that I thought was the funniest thing ever. I fucking love the paladin. But they didn't have futuristic tech, but it was more like their tech was magic based, like the hither thither spear, or the, what was it, the thither hither spear wand or whatever. It was basically portals. It was the portals gun from Portals 2, but it was a magic staff. So you might want to go that route, Waffles, where their tech is actually magic in a medieval world. That might be the easiest way to go to go for. Make it more magical. Or like magic with air quotes. You know? Gen Z to the new gens after learning about the new virus. I've played these games before. Alright, I'm young. Are you gonna have you learned your lesson? No, we just won't do that again now, will we? Anyway, hello Zenti. Glad you're back. We're helping Waffles with the story-based predicament. While I'm, fuck me, losing my mind thinking about these damn cats. There. But then again, Waffles, I highly suggest just doing more research on the medieval era. That will at least help you get a starting point for your story. Then you'll feel less anxious about how the characters will look with more techie, a more techie setting. That's just my advice. That honestly solved so much story and character anxiety I had for a lot of my stories. I was like, oh, I want the story to be this way, but I'm not sure exactly what to do or how it's gonna look and whatnot. Literally just watch one documentary about whatever subject, era, or blah de blah that you want to write about. Just one documentary. And it'll set you on the right. It'll at least give you a foundation to jump off of. Because then you will either A, realize, oh, I actually got this because of XYZ now, because I know that. Or B, you'll realize, maybe this isn't what I wanted for my story. I should look into other options. Or C, the best option, you'll do your research and realize, I never even thought that this was a possibility. Actually, hold up, here's a whole new story. Same characters, but it's like, oh, I could do this now because I know about this reference thing and it'll make sense and blah. That's the best feeling ever. The best feeling ever is when you do it's like, I want to learn, it's like, I want to write this story better, so I'm going to do a little research on this subject matter to help me write my story. And then you do the research and you're like, I had no idea this was possible. Oh my god, it's like your third eye opened. Like a whole universe of possibilities has now been opened to you, and you're like, oh. There's a lot of free documentaries on YouTube, and there's a lot of channels that absolutely love the medieval era. So you're in good company, actually, Waffles. Not like me. I don't really care about ancient Greece or the medieval era when it comes to any of my stories. Like, none of my stories have anything to do with that. But all of, there are so many people on YouTube that either love ancient Greece and the medieval era. A lot of Ren Fair nerds. Honestly, yeah, just like literally a documentary to get you started. Boom. All right, short tail. Now it's your turn. Let's hopefully I don't forget the markings at the end of his tail like the last time. God, that was so terrible. The page has been up for almost a week now, and no one said anything, so I hope nobody noticed. Or if they have noticed, they're just keeping their mouth. They're just not saying anything out of respect. And it's just, yes, thank you, please. Nobody say anything. How long have I been streaming for? An hour? Only an hour? Jeez. Alright, well, okay. Put it alone. Doot, doot. Uh-oh. Is that the right? That's not white. Damn it! That's not white. That wasn't white. That was slightly off-white. That was slightly blue. Fuck! Alright. Let's fix... Shh! We can fix this. Bob the Builder, yes we can. Damn it! Okay, let's just... Alright, for these guys, it's easy. You just... There you go. Oh. So glad I caught that. I always color, if I've got a, like a base color around the mouth, I always color underneath the mouth and tongue, because then when I color the mouth and tongue on top of it, there won't be any pixel bleed over that looks weird. Now I got the bardcore version of Pumped Up Kit stuck in my head now. I forgot his eyes. I love it so much. There's this person who follows my comic on DeviantArt, which you can read the comic on DeviantArt if you wish. And instead of calling him Short Tail, I'm assuming I shouldn't assume. They just call him Stumpy. Just I get it. It's because he's short. Ha ha ha. Like the amount, the lack of respect, the amount of disrespect Short Tail gets from the fandom is so funny to me. And I'm saying fandom in the loosest way possible. Oh, I really hope people I really hope with this new arc people either double down on their hatred for Short Tail, or they go, "Oh, wait a minute. What, he was right? Hold on." I mean, both are valid, but I really hope that happens. I really want it to happen. Please. Give me drama, give me. But in order for that to happen, I have to write the character correctly. And so I'm kind of stuck on a scene, so let's... tomorrow, or immediately after stream, I'm going to be working on the script for this comic, trying to work ahead. Because I was supposed to do that Tuesday, but then something came up. But I really hope I can figure out what Short Tail's gonna, like, what his MO is. Because I want him to do a few things, but I'm just worried that it might not exactly be in character. Because everything Short Tail does is, he has a reason for it. He has a reason for every little thing he does. I'm just wondering if these reasonings are good enough. Like, I don't want to spoil anything. But I'll need to be figuring that out. Outrun my bow, bow you. What's best than my bow. I used to really like Ren Fair stuff. It's not that I don't like it now, it's just I'm not as interested as I used to be. I mean, which is fine, because every other Ren Fair I go to, I'm like, alright, where are the dragons? I like fantasy fairs. Oh god, I love fantasy fairs. But when it comes to like Ren Fair and stuff like that, it's just, I mean, this is fine. It's just, how many jousting tournaments can I watch before I get bored? The answer is 3. Going for the late medieval German Timberland housing. Trying to build on that. Okay. Guys. Steve. You're butting the lady. You want to sit in the window, go ahead, but don't pounce on her head to get there. Mind your manners. You're a cat, you don't have any manners. Oh, God. Guys! Cut it out. Oh my god. The joys of having cats. Oh, the joy of owning felines. That's the wrong. How far up his nose does it? Well, actually, it should go up to here. Whoops. Oh. Going back to my Beast Wars rant that happened while no one was around on stream. God. Don't get me wrong. I love a character that can be a serious punching bag. I don't mind a serious punching bag. But you kind of just want them to get to get a W every once in a while. Just once. Just once you want them to get the W without it being rug pulled at the last second. Just once, you'd like them to have a win. And for me, that's Waspinator from Beast Wars. I want poor Waspinator, man. He's such a funny character. He's he's such a funny character, but he is the series punching bag. Holy shit, is he the series punching bag? They're like season 1, there wasn't an episode that went by where he didn't get blown up or whatever. He was the Kenny of Beast Wars, and every time I watched every time I watched it the first time, I was, oh my god, they killed Waspinator! You bastards! Because like once or twice it's funny, but then when it's like the running gag that this guy can never get a win, always catches the L, it's just like, oh, poor Waspinator. But then, the ending happens, and you're like, the ending happened, and I was almost sad because the series ended, but then they showed that last scene, and I was like, oh, I liked that. Oh, it immediately made me happy, and I was satisfied with the ending. So maybe that's why they did it that way. Waspinator happy at last. Little guy! Oh! Oh, bless him. I usually skip over the world building and go too fast. Stream really helped my idea. Thank you. And you're welcome. That's why I do these streams. Not just to monetize the absolutely bone-breaking process of making comics, but also so we can just have a conversation. Even if most of the stream I'm just sitting here in awkward silence. Because I'm hyper-focusing on the absolutely arduous and bone-breaking process of making comics. Oh, oh my god. I have disappeared into the ether. Damn it all, that was... oh god. Oh, I forgot to text my sister. Shit. I'm taking a little stretch break. Because if you're an artist, listen to my wrists. All right, this is gonna trigger a lot of people, but listen to my wrists. That's what happens when you don't properly stretch and warm up for your drawing sessions. You're gonna get arthritis and carpal tunnel. Ah, that was my shoulder, actually. I just made a bunch of people throw up. Sorry, not sorry. I really should apologize for that, because some people don't find the smacking lips crunching sound to be annoying. I do. People are like, oh my god, joints cracking, ew. And I'm just like, why is that bugging you? It like happens all the time to people, right? Like, no, you've got you've got a problem. It's like, what? It was, oh, hmm. I know, I'm gonna be so happy about that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm still thinking about Beast Wars because hyperfixation. He's such a good little lad. And the entire series was just him catching the L. Just L's all around. And then the ending happened, and it was like, oh, Waspinator happy at last. And I applauded. I remember I was about to be depressed because the show was over. For me, and then that ending happened. That's the wrong file. Then that ending happened, and I was like, I feel so much better now. Thank you guys. Thank you. God, remember? Okay, last stream we were dying dealing with abstract backgrounds. Now we are back to doing hyper realistic backgrounds with these textures and whatnot. So yay! I can't do abstract, I guess. I mean, I sort of can with like the blobbish backgrounds, but when it comes to like characters in a void, and unless it's just a gradient with like some drippy drippies, then I can't do it. I struggle. We struggle bussin'. Not the good kind of bussin' either. Oh, excuse me. You know, honestly, I wouldn't get as many songs stuck in my head if I just listened to the official background music that goes on these streams. But there's only so many copyright free music. There's only so many times I can listen to the copyright free music without completely losing my mind. I've listened to a lot of these tracks a million times before. When I used to do a lot of speed paints and when I used to do videos, I would put these songs in the background. So I've heard them plenty of times. Again. Oh my god, Sans, it happened again! That's not right. Gonna work. Okay, hold up. If we just do that. There. That's more proportionate. Okay, that's fine. But if we just take this up and then it. Well, anyway, whatever. The last comic frame, this tree was not the correct proportions, and it's pissing me off because I've already hit render. This video is going very slow. Yeah, that happens. Yeah, it's supposed to be a really big tree. It's an oak tree. But then I keep forgetting that it's a fucking oak. That's the wrong. was on the wrong layer. It's an oak tree. So it's supposed to be really damn big. But then my dumbass keeps forgetting that it's supposed to be really damn big, and I keep trying to fit it in the frame. When in actuality, it should be, honestly, with them sitting right there, it should be at least 3 times bigger around the base, because their warrior's den is in the roots of the tree. And they all fit in there. And an entire clan can fit in there. So I've shot myself when it comes to proportions. And besides, it's a rune steomorph project. We have big tree. It's not a rune steomorph project if there isn't a big tree. Because we like tree. Think tree. Tree. I'm like that art teacher from the old movie Speak. Think tree. Anytime I'm watching a movie and I see a big tree in the background, I'm like, oh, big tree. Which is why that scene in Avatar, whoo! Of all the scenes in Avatar, when they're burning down or taking down Home Tree, oh god, I fucking cried. I was bawling along with the rest of with the with the Navi. I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the. I know the name of the tribe. It's right there, but I can't remember how to pronounce it. Like in my head, I can hear it, but my mouth's having some troubles. Or like that scene in the beginning of the movie Dinosaur when the meteor hits and it takes out that island and we see that one shot of the tree they were all just hanging out in a few minutes ago gets burned and just annihilated by the fireballs. Like, and then when they swim ashore to a different, like, to the mainland, and they look back at the island and it's just a ball of fire, and you're just no. That whole movie, that beginning movie, the beginning of that movie is so good. I think everyone should watch that movie. It's really good. As terrifying as an experience that was, I highly recommend it. Or what's the phrase? As traumatic? Yeah, as traumatic as an experience that was, I highly recommend it. Especially there are like some shots where the fireball that's chasing them, because it's the meteor that supposedly took out the dinosaurs comes in, and like there are some bits where the cloud looks like a beast that's chasing them. And I've said that on stream before. Yeah, I've said that on stream before. But anyway, it's so good. Watch the movie. Disney wants you to forget. Do not forget. We will never forget Disney. There was one shot in a page that's coming up that I added way too much damn detail on this log. And it looks good. So I'm not complaining in that regard, but at the same time, I'm dying because I was like, oh, did I just curse myself to forever add that much detail to this fucking log? This dead-ass tree? And the answer is no. Because I